It is the mystery we just can't stop talking about. A world traveler who speaks 4 languages, yet he doesn't know his own name, doesn't know much of anything about his past or how he ended up in Seattle. Chris Ligeros from our Seattle affiliate, Cairo, has the story.
He's been John Doe ever since he wandered out of Seattle's Discovery Park 3 weeks ago and told a passing bus driver that he didn't know who he was or even what city he was in.
But I have no idea how I arrived here or by what means.
The Seattle Times published the mystery man's photo in print and online. Within hours, an English teacher in Shanghai identified him as Edward Lightheart.
The name doesn't seem familiar.
But photos were of Dr. Edward Lightheart, a public relations consultant to international businesses, fluent in French, German, and English.
How did I get the skills?
Doctors have told him he's suffering from dissociative amnesia, that probably some extreme pain or stress or anxiety has prompted him to lose many memories. He vividly remembers being married to a woman named Tina who died after a miscarriage, still wears his and her ring.
It's a lot of confusion, a lot of frustration, because I'm remembering bits and pieces here and there that don't fit.
His real fear is that many memories may not come back, and not knowing what he'll do to support himself once he's out of the hospital.
It is absolutely terrifying.
A well-educated man still struggling with the simplest of questions: what is your name?
Again, that was CBS reporter Chris Ligeros from our affiliate Cairo Eyewitness News in Seattle. We're joined this morning by neurologist Dr. William Likosky, who's director of the Stroke Center at Seattle's Swedish Medical Center. That's where the man who may be Edward Lightheart is being treated. Doctor, good to have you with us this morning. When you look at this man, Edward Lightheart, we'd heard that he may have been a sister came forward, and a strange sister in Las Vegas said they'd had a falling out recently and she asked him to leave. Could it be an event like that that may have triggered this very rare amnesia?
I think a kind of dissociative reaction where you escape reality, in a sense, an uncomfortable reality, certainly can come from an emotional disturbance.
But this is very rare, too. So how often do you see a case like this where someone escapes with amnesia?
I think in a lifetime of practicing medicine, I've seen just maybe 3 or 4 people who've had that, but none comprising such a verbally gifted individual.
And he spoke, speaking of being verbally gifted, he spoke at the news conference yesterday. He said he was both fascinated and terrified by what was happening to him. Fascinated because in some ways he was sort of looking forward to starting over. When you hear how well-spoken he is and how composed he seems to be, I mean, do you buy it? Do you think he's really suffering from this amnesia, or is this a way for him to start over?
Oh, I think this is very clearly something that he's describing just exactly how he feels. I don't think he's faking it at all.
How do you treat a case like this going forward without maybe triggering some of the trauma that brought him here?
I think it's very difficult. I think the fascinating element of it is that everything is brought to him electronically within seconds or within minutes, really, of the time it's put on the internet. And rather than having months to sort of deal with things, he sort of faces it all of a sudden.
Is that good or bad?
I think it can be very disturbing, and I think he describes it as very disturbing. He doesn't know what to do with the information which he's, in a sense, asked for.
And how does that affect the process for him to have these details of his life basically handed to him as opposed to maybe recalling them on his own?
Well, I don't think he would recall them on his own. I think the real task ahead is for him to work with psychiatry to try to very slowly bring together why he got into this situation and in a sense, how to get out of it. It's less about confronting somebody with a memory than I think it is to sort of say, how do you put your life together again?
Mm-hmm. It's been just about 3 weeks since he wandered out of that park. What does it say to you, though, that no one has really come forward to sort of claim him and help bring him out of this amnesia?
Oh, I think many people in the community have offered him help. Some have offered him a residence. Some have brought their church in.
But what about family members and friends who may have been a part of his life?
Well, I think they responded. I think it's very hard to say, what happens next.
Dr. William Likosky, we'll be following it. Appreciate your insight this morning. Thanks.
Sure. Thank you.